Alex offers to display Kate's tea in his coffee shop, but Kate notices that customers rarely want to try her products. Alex encourages her, saying her tea is really good and that she should believe in it. Emma starts working as an office clerk at the local committee. On her first day, Charles picks her up for work, which draws a lot of attention. Emma quickly realizes that everyone, including Charles, assumes they are a couple and even talking about marriage. At the office, people treat Emma like Charles's fiancée, acting overly nice or sizing her up, which makes her uncomfortable. Instead of assigning her any real tasks, they keep talking about her and Charles' relationship. Meanwhile, Ginny is busy with work, but Jack keeps calling her asking to hang out, which she finds annoying. Emma shares her frustrations with her parents, explaining how everyone at work thinks she got the job because she's Charles's fiancée. But Emma's parents don't see the issue, pushing her to settle down with Charles instead. James continues his affair with Anna, and after spending the day with her, he returns home to find Kate assembling a table. Feeling guilty, James offers to help, but Kate reminds him that she's always the one who assembles the furniture and that he only talks without following through. James apologizes for his behavior and promises to support Kate with her tea business. That night, Emma calls Kate and Ginny to vent about how, at first, life in the countryside felt warm and comforting, but now it suffocates her. Everywhere she goes, people are watching, gossiping, and pressuring her. The next day, to avoid fueling rumors that she got her job because she's Charles's girlfriend, Emma dresses casually for work. However, she still can't escape the endless chatter about her and Charles getting married. Charles assigns Emma the task of organizing a reception for the CEO of a large corporation. Meanwhile, James, wanting to keep things convenient for his affair, rents Anna an apartment near his office, paying the rent for an entire year up front. Unlike Kate, who is independent and strong-willed, Anna lets James assemble her furniture while showering him with praise, calling him talented and strong, which boosts his ego to the new level. The reception goes smoothly, and the CEO turns out to be a business partner of Kevin's, someone Emma had met before. He recognizes her and strikes up a conversation. During their chat, he mentions that he has recently acquired Miss Hill and offers Emma a chance to return to work with them if she's interested. Meanwhile, Dave tells their mother about Pete's situation, making her very worried. To calm her down, Pete decides to visit home for a while. However, cunning Dave uses this opportunity to meet with Ginny. When Jack arrives to pick Ginny up from work, he's frustrated when she chooses to leave with Dave to discuss Pete's situation instead of going home with him. Dave explains to Ginny that Pete is so depressed that he's considering moving back to their hometown forever and working for the local news station. This leaves Ginny feeling deeply heartbroken and guilty. Through Dave, Ginny finally understands that Pete has always quietly sacrificed himself to take care of her. Because he never shows it, she misunderstands him. Ginny shares her feelings with Kate, but Kate tells her that the past is the past, and Ginny should stop overthinking and enjoy her life as a single woman. Ginny writes all her feelings in her blog. Jack reads them and starts to feel worried. Meanwhile, Kate faces a serious problem. Her tea farm is badly damaged by frost, so she has to rush over to handle it. Most of the tea plants are frozen and need a lot of fuel to warm them up, which costs a lot of money. James has to go to the fireworks factory to destroy some dangerous blue fireworks that could explode. Anna follows him to the airport and asks to join him, pretending to be his assistant named Yu. The factory director has emailed Yu many times but has never met her, so he doesn't suspect anything. That night, instead of destroying the fireworks, James decides to launch them for Anna to see. Anna praises the blue fireworks, saying it's a shame to destroy something so beautiful, which makes James feel good about himself. He then decides not only to keep the fireworks but to make even more. At the tea farm, Kate calls James to check if all the fireworks has been destroyed. He confirms he did, but when she sees the launch equipment nearby, she becomes suspicious. After thinking all night, Kate decides not to ask James for money to buy fuel for the tea farm. Instead, she calls her dad for help. He agrees right away to help her using his saving, but Kate's dad worries more about Kate and James' relationship due to the fact she doesn't want to ask her husband for support. Ginny passes her driving test. Jack comes to pick her up, and they make up. To celebrate Ginny getting her driver's license, Jack takes her on a trip, making her very happy. However, Dave doesn't leave Ginny alone. He calls her again to tell her that Pete has boarded a plane back to their hometown, which makes Ginny feel guilty again. That evening, after taking Ginny out to dinner, Jack brings her back to the hotel. When he tries to get more intimate, Ginny refuses and runs into the bathroom. Inside, she finds her lost wedding ring in the pocket of her jeans, and guilt rushes back to her. Ginny decides to leave the hotel and return to Shanghai, leave a sad Jack behind. As she steps outside, a car pretending to be a taxi invites Ginny to get in. After a while, she realizes the driver is a bad person when he takes a turn onto a strange road. Ginny opens the door while the car is still moving and jumps out, hiding in some bushes to escape. The driver searches for her a while but eventually drives away. However, it's already midnight, and Ginny has no idea where she is since they are on an island, and her phone can't get a 4G signal. In her panic, Ginny decides to call Pete for help. Pete immediately comes to the rescue and manages to find Ginny, bringing her back home. He had done a report in that area before, so he knows the island's terrain well. Ginny injures her hand when she jumps from the car, and Pete takes care of her injury. As he tends to her, he notices that Ginny is wearing her wedding ring. Emma's grandfather falls seriously ill, so her parents have to return to her dad's hometown to visit him. At the office, Charles notices Emma's distraction and asks her what's wrong. At first, Emma finds it annoying, but she changes her mind when Charles offers to help if anything happens with her grandfather. He tells her to stop being too independent and to ask for help whenever she needs it. Meanwhile, Kate finally resolves the frost issue at her tea farm and comes up with a new idea to promote her tea. She returns to Shanghai late at night, feeling exhausted when she arrives home. However, James doesn't seem to care that she's hungry and tired. He just sits at his desk chatting like it's no big deal. That night, Kate calls her sisterhood to discuss her idea. She wants to put a QR code on the tea boxes so customers can adopt a tea plant and track its growth directly. The other two like the idea and encourage her to start it. The next day, Kate wants to visit the fireworks company to check on the work situation, which makes James feel nervous. At the company, the fireworks factory manager calls James, but he's busy, so Kate answers the phone. She asks about the disposal of the blue fireworks, but the manager, having been warned by James beforehand, lies to Kate and says they've been completely destroyed. James acts nervously around her, fearing that she discover his dirty secret. Especially when he realizes she notices that the dash cam in their car has suddenly switched to an auto-delete mode after 48 hours. James goes to see Anna to relieve some stress. That night, he returns home late, just as Kate arrives at the building. To avoid getting caught, he takes the stairs to get home first and pretends to be playing with Henry. James is too scared to visit Anna as often as he did before, which makes her feel frustrated. That evening, he gives Kate compliments and fake promises to make her believe him. He even blames Dave for changing the settings on the dashcam. Meanwhile, Emma's parents bring her grandfather back home. They find out he is not sick but has been mistreated by Emma's uncle's family. Even though Emma's dad has sent them money every month to take care of him, they want to make him sick so they can get a big amount of money for his funeral. Emma's dad gets so upset that he faints. Emma's mom and a neighbor take him to the hospital while Emma stays home with her grandfather. Thanks to Charles, Emma's dad gets better care and can come home that night. Emma's mom likes Charles more now, and he visits their house often. During dinner with their neighbors, Emma's mom thanks everyone, especially Charles, which makes Emma feel like she has to love and marry him out of gratitude. After being turned down on the island, Jack tries again and confesses his feeling to Ginny in her office with his friends as help. He tells her he has opened a motorcycle repair shop and gives her the keys. Jack wants to give Ginny a new pair of rings to replace her wedding ring. Everyone admires his effort and cheers for Ginny to say yes, but she feels uncomfortable and pulls Jack aside to talk. After thinking, Ginny breaks up with Jack. She tells him she thinks she only likes him, not loves him. She feels bad about their relationship and realizes she doesn't know what she wants in a husband. Now, instead of romance, she wants stability and maturity. Jack calls her out, saying her confusion comes from Dave always talking about his brother Pete and making her change her mind. When Ginny insists on breaking up, Jack leaves and throws the ring box out the window.